Hey guys, it's Ryan here with Rob.
Hi everybody.
We're back today with another episode of Theory Battle, and this time we're talking about some bad guys in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
If this is your first episode of Theory Battle, this is how things work. We're each going to go into detail about a movie theory and explain why it could actually be possible. Then in the comments section, you guys try to decide which one of them is the most likely to be true.
Or maybe you think they're both just total nonsense and you have a theory that's way better. Let us know if that's the case too. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of Marvel villains that may not actually be dead.
Nobody ever really seems to die in Marvel movies, so right off the bat, those are some points in favor of both of these theories.
Yeah, and with the amount of characters that died in the last movie, you can be pretty sure there's going to be a whole lot of resurrections going on in the upcoming ones. Before we dive into these theories, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell if you haven't already. That'll let you stay up to date with all our new stuff. Stuff like theory battles, pitch meetings, list videos, and a whole lot more fun stuff on the way.
So, first theory, Ryan, what do you have for us? What Marvel villain is actually still alive?
Well, the theory that I'm presenting says that Ultron is still alive. That's right, apparently his age might not actually be over, and we could see this snarky robot dude make a return sometime soon.
Avengers Age of Ultron ended with Vision blowing up the last of Ultron's robots. So what, did he actually miss one or something?
I mean, Marvel could go that route, but to be honest, if they want to bring him back, that's a pretty lazy way to do it. After 20 movies, I'd kinda hope that they'd be more creative than that. Now, the theory I'm presenting would definitely be a step up from, oops, we missed an Ultron robot. See, the thing about Ultron is he's an artificial intelligence, right? Just because his last body was destroyed by Vision doesn't necessarily mean he can't be brought back. So yeah, they could go the route of, oh, there was an encrypted flash drive that had a backup of Ultron on it, or oh, some dude thought he was downloading the new Spider-Man game, but it was actually Ultron. But this theory says that Ultron is actually still alive inside Vision.
It sounds like an android version of Fight Club or something.
Kind of, except he wouldn't fully be in control of Vision Tyler Durden style. Also, he definitely wouldn't organize underground fights with a bunch of sweaty men. That would just be weird. Now, see, the theory says that just like parts of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner are alive inside of Vision, there's a little bit of Ultron in there too. The theory also says that they're all being held in place in there by the Mind Stone. In the case of Tony and Bruce, that's a good thing, because they're the good parts of Vision that make him who he is. But from Ultron's perspective, being in there is obviously a very bad thing.
Yeah, that sounds like his nightmare. His whole catchphrase was, "There are no strings on me." He even sang it, which was kind of a weird moment.
Oh yeah, this is Ultron's worst nightmare situation right now. Trapped inside another android, that's the most stringy situation I can think of for him. So all he wants is to get out of Vision so he can be free to rampage through the internet and take over the world and stuff. Continue onward with his messed up version of world peace. So his goal is to get out of Vision, which means he wants that Mind Stone, the thing keeping him in there, to be destroyed.
So what does he do?
Well, the idea is that while inside Vision, he learns to control certain things, without full-on taking control of Vision, because he's probably way too weak for that. But he can tweak things here and there and kind of steer things in the right direction. To keep with the car metaphor, if Vision is driving the car, maybe Ultron places a couple of sneaky strategic traffic signs along the side of the road.
What kind of signs are we talking?
Well, in Infinity War, the Mind Stone warns Vision that the end of his life is coming soon, right? Ultron did something pretty similar in Age of Ultron. So the theory says that Ultron is actually the one who made the stone glow in Infinity War as a way to be like, oh, Vision, you'd better destroy this Infinity Stone. It's the only way to save everyone, you better blow it up. Ultron is also super familiar with Scarlet Witch, and he probably knows that she's the only one who's actually capable of destroying the stone. So what does he do? He pulls Vision's strings and makes him fall in love with her.
The world's most evil version of Cupid.
Yeah, I mean, it was always a little weird that Vision was able to develop feelings for Wanda, right?
Yeah, that robot/wish romance was always kind of a big question mark. Like, what are you even doing, guys?
So the theory says that Ultron is the one who created those feelings as a way to keep Wanda and Vision close. No, when the time was right, Ultron knew that she would be the one to destroy the stone. So it would make sense to keep those two as close as possible. What better way to keep someone close than to make them fall in love? And when the time finally came, Wanda was there to do exactly what Ultron wanted.
So in that crazy moment in Infinity War when the stone was destroyed for like 30 seconds, that was the moment that Ultron was set free?
Exactly, and now he's in the best possible situation he could have ever hoped for. The Avengers and humanity itself are in tatters because of the snap. Right off the bat, that's a fantastic step in the right direction for his plan. Plus, he's not only free now, but he's set free in Wakanda. That's the vibranium capital of the world and the perfect place to rebuild himself and his army.
He always did want to get his hands on that sweet, sweet vibranium.
Yeah, so Ultron has all the material he needs to start fresh. Or if they end up rebuilding Vision without the Mind Stone somehow in Avengers 4, Ultron could end up taking over Vision. Or they could simply have Ultron become a new kind of threat, wiping out the world's technology and sending humanity into some kind of new dark age.
Cool theory, Ryan. fun.
Thank you very much, Rob. So let's hear yours. What big baddie is still alive?
Well, the theory that I'll be presenting says that HELA is still alive.
So getting hit in the face with a giant fire sword in the middle of an exploding god city isn't a big deal then?
Hey, we never saw a body. And even if we had seen a body, it's not like that means anything in the MCU. Remember when we watched Loki die in Thor: The Dark World? Or when we watched Nick Fury die in Winter Soldier? I mean, we can't trust our eyes anymore. Marvel is messing with our brains. Nothing is real.
You okay there, buddy?
Probably not, but anyway, let's look at the circumstances of Hela's so-called death scene, if we can even call it that. Right before Surtur smashes down with his giant fire sword, we see Hela's face, and she's like, uh-oh. It seems like a face that says, uh-oh, I'm screwed, but really it's more of a, uh-oh, I gotta get out of here.
Both appropriate reactions.
Surtur then brings his sword down, and if you look closely, it seems like right as it's going to hit her, there's a flash of bright green light.
Maybe that was her body exploding, you know, because of the giant fire sword.
And maybe I'd agree with you on that if it wasn't for one thing. We saw a scene with her involving a bright green light earlier in the movie. When she first shows up in front of Loki and Thor, she comes out of this evil-looking portal, in which there's a bright green light shining.
That is pretty suspicious.
Super suspicious. In fact, I hope people are hungry for some sushi because that's about the fishiest thing I've ever seen. They establish that she portals around with a flash of green light, and then they put a flash of green light during her death scene. Why include that if they actually wanted her to be dead? I could maybe buy that she was injured by Surtur's sword, but that flash of green light definitely means something.
Why would Marvel keep her alive though? She wanted to rule Asgard, and Asgard is super dead.
Well, with the amount of death that happens in Infinity War, it seems like Marvel would have a lot of use for a character that's the goddess of death. She could be instrumental in bringing everyone back from the dead in Avengers 4.
Maybe even her brother Loki?
Yeah, actually. If there was one person that HELA is most likely to bring back from the dead, it's Loki. If we assume that Thanos actually did kill Loki in Infinity War and that it wasn't some kind of illusion again, that means that Loki would probably go to Hell. That's HEL, the Asgardian version of the afterlife for bad guys. And guess who's the ruler of Hell? That's right, it's HELA. So in Avengers 4, we might meet up with Loki in Hell, where he's gonna have to deal with his sister, who runs the show down there.
That'll make for a pretty awkward conversation.
And for even more bonus points, consider the fact that in the comics, Thanos is obsessed with death. Granted, he's obsessed with Lady Death, but seeing as HELA is the goddess of death, the people at Marvel might roll them both into one character in the MCU. It just seems a little weird that they would introduce a character like HELA just 2 movies before Infinity War came out.
I guess that would be a pretty big coincidence.
Yeah, they've clearly set the table for HELA to make a comeback and have her be linked to Thanos. Like she nonchalantly knew that the Infinity Gauntlet Odin had was a fake. That means she must know that Thanos has the real one. There might already be a connection there. And plus, this theory gets even more bonus points from the fact that Mark Ruffalo can't keep himself from spoiling things.
Aw man, your theory has Ruffalo spoilers? That's not fair. I need to try to get Tom Holland on the phone right now.
Yeah, well, it could be nothing, but during an interview on a podcast, Ruffalo revealed that he'd recently worked with Cate Blanchett. But the thing is, they don't have any movies scheduled together, so he could only really be talking about Avengers 4.
Well, we know that there's a bunch of time travel going on in Avengers 4, so that doesn't necessarily mean that she's currently alive in the MCU.
Fair enough, but when combined with the rest of the evidence, it definitely could be a fit.
Well, okay then. Good theory, Rob. I definitely wouldn't be opposed to seeing more of Cate Blanchett in the MCU. In terms of Marvel villains, she was definitely one of the better ones. But hopefully she doesn't break Thor's new weapon as easily as she broke Mjolnir.
Yeah, he just got that thing.
So now we're gonna run through a quick little recap of the 2 theories so you guys at home can decide which one you think is the most likely to be true. My theory says that Ultron isn't actually dead. Since Avengers Age of Ultron, he's been kept trapped inside a Vision thanks to the Mind Stone. He wants the stone destroyed so he can be set free. So he manipulates Vision into destroying it in Infinity War.
We definitely need to see him use it a little more before she crushes him. And my theory says that HELA didn't actually die. There was a bright green light during her death scene. We saw that same light earlier when she used her portal, and death is super important to the story of Thanos in the comics, and HELA is the goddess of death.
So now it's time to turn it over to you guys in the YouTube comment section. Which of these 2 theories do you think is the most plausible?
Do you think Ultron is going to make a return thanks to the destruction of the Mind Stone, or do you think HELA dodged Surtur's sword and is secretly planning a comeback in the MCU?
What kind of stuff do you think these villains would get up to if they make a return in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Or do you think there's another villain that's more likely to come back than these 2? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below.
If this was your first episode of Theory Battle, we have some other episodes on the channel that are a lot of fun. Just recently we did one about the 1992 Disney classic Aladdin.
One of us presented a theory that the entire movie was just Genie granting Aladdin's first wish, and the other that the movie actually takes place in a post-apocalyptic future. Both very fun theories. Definitely check out the video if you have a chance. And if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. We have a lot of awesome stuff on the way that you're not going to want to miss. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to check back soon for another episode. Bye-bye.